We're not quite on noontime yet, but appreciate y'all being here. Looking happy about the win last week. Obviously have moved right on to the next opponent. It's Thursday, so again, as always, apologize if you ask me something about the last game and I get numbers or something messed up. So with that, I'll just open it up.
Coach Mo Claiborne, how close is he? Will he be in this?
That's a great question. Look, he did everything he possibly could in this last month, between meetings and doing things on it, but it's not the same as going out there. He found that out yesterday. The legs may be there, but the wind takes a little bit of a while, so we're going to have to tread lightly. I think, as Coach Reed said, it'll kind of be a day-to-day thing, and we'll come up with an answer at the end of the week.
Do you feel like he knows everything? Do you feel like he picked up on everything as far as?
Well, I will say this: he's been a pro with everything he's done in the month. The most you can do, whether it's film or taking notes. I watch him every day in the meeting. I do think, but again, until you have a foundation of reps underneath you, we got a few in training camp. It's going to be a challenge. I mean, every guy's different. We'll see where he is after we get through the week.
You coached a lot of football. Have you had a 100-yard fumble before? And is that heads up by Breland, or is that expected by?
Well, I'll tell you what I thought it was a credit to this group in the way that they've embraced some of the habits that our assistant coaches have tried to instill. And if you've been at practice, one of the things we do or talk in terms of a scoop and score. It doesn't matter whether the ball's on the ground because of an incomplete pass or whatever the ball, we pick it up, and he did that. He stayed hungry, he saw the ball on the ground. And listen, in this league, we always say, make the officials make a call. I thought I give a lot of credit to the officiating on that play, that they let it go and then let the replay take care of it. And luckily for us, it worked out pretty good.
What was going through your mind on that play? I mean, were you already going to the next play?
I was on the next play, BJ. Yeah, in my mind, I think I might have said goal as the personnel, the next personnel in, and then my eyes went to it. And the first thing I thought of was, I think Walt Anderson was our referee for the game. The first thing I said was, Walt's letting it go. And so it told me we had a chance. And there were 4 or 5 other players out there that knew what to do because they were pointing, getting the end zone. Tyron did, and I think Juan. So credit to the guys for knowing what to do.
Mo Claiborne, once he is up and running, whatever that is, what kind of role do you see for him?
Not sure yet. I do know this. You can never have enough corners. We'll find a spot for him. And look at the 2 guys that have been playing there, C-Dub and Breezy. I think have done an admirable job. There's a lot of things sometimes you don't see that they do because the ball's not going there. Be nice to have Mo up and running and function at a good level, so we have 3 of them, but we'll see what happens.
I think I asked you a similar question last week, but Frank Clark and just all the attention that he's getting, just how much do you notice and just how does he fight through that?
Yeah, we tried a couple of things last week. I don't know if you noticed, we had him inside. I mean, we're trying to find ways to find a one-on-one match for him. That's not always possible. I mean, look at offensive coaches are pretty smart in this league. And I think that's going to continue. And what hopefully happens is it opens up something for somebody else, and when that somebody else gets enough of those, maybe they turn their attention away from Frank, but we'll see.
You're averaging defensively giving up 5.9 yards a carry on the ground. What's your level of concern there?
Yeah, the level of concern is the explosive run plays, in my opinion. We do a win-loss for every play. By that I mean we win win or lose the down based on the situation. So 1st and 10, you've got to hold them on 4 or less. So we've had a number of run plays in there where we're winning. In the second half of this game, we were actually 61% win-loss in the second half. But you wouldn't know that because 5 of them led to 68 yards. So to me, it's the explosive plays. If we could limit those, I think we'd be in much better shape.
From what you've seen on film with the Colts, they've been pretty successful behind a strong offensive line.
Yeah.
What are you seeing from them?
Yeah, the O-line begins with the O-line. When we began this game plan and when we presented it to the players on Tuesday, we began with the O-line. That's a group that I think, they're talented, but they function really well together. I think that makes the quarterback more effective. It helps the run game, the whole thing. And Coach Reed's always said it, that it begins with the big guys up front. They function that way real well.
How much progress, we're still within the first 10 real starts, but how much progress have you seen of Charvarius Ward this season from what he can do?
Yeah, I wasn't here. I just go off of tape. I was encouraged by the tape that I saw from last year. I thought we've had some highs and lows, but right now I think he's playing effectively. He had the one series that was tough, and that one down, but find a way to get that ball out. He has a pretty good game.
Coach, I know the idea of the defense is you want to force turnovers. You want to just be aggressive. But I don't know that I've ever seen the blatant punching like the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Are they just the extreme in the league? Or is that the goal of everybody now to really just knock it out of there?
Well, it's a catch-22, in my opinion. We preach it all the time, too, but you got to pick your spots. Damian Wilson does a great job for us. I mean, certain guys have a knack, but if that's all you do, I'd be curious to see what the missed tackle efficiency is, because it's kind of hard to just punch at it and still tackle the guy. Now, I did watch those plays that you're talking about with Detroit, and I thought they did an excellent job. My guess is that Matt Patricia, who's a pretty smart guy, I think, probably said we need to somehow steal a couple of possessions, get Patrick Mahomes off the field. And he might have said, look, we might not be as great with the tackling, but we're going to find a way to punch it out, and that's what they did. So I think everybody's always trying to do that. Some guys have a knack for it, I believe.
Coach, this game changed a lot for fans in the league the week before season started with Andrew Luck's retirement. Did it change at all for you and planning for the sets?
No. They're faceless opponents to us. I just see talent. I got the run game. Listen, this run game, unless I saw it somewhere, unless it's changed, but second in the league in rushing, I believe, or if it's the AFC, you guys could help me. But I mean, it begins there. And look, that's not been great for us right now. So we're going to function there first, and then now look they got a couple of game records too. Number 13 is a game record. 21 I think is a game record. So it doesn't change anything really. It's still tough.
T.Y. Hilton for them, we're not sure if
No.
how important is that asset to them.
Well, look, I learned a long time ago not to wish for anything.
Sure.
Yeah, you wish for somebody not to play, and then the other guy's beating you, right? But he's a talent. I just got done saying it. We began the week saying this is a guy that can wreck the game. So if there's a guy that can wreck the game, we got to give him extra attention.
With Frank, I mean, obviously it's not the start he's wanted to have. How have you sensed that he's handled that? I guess just the mental part?
I think he's been a pro, and now look, in the heat of the battle, while I'm doing my job, he's doing his. Only he knows for sure. But I told him at one time that look, you got to let the game come to you. I used to say this to Brian Dawkins all the time. You're better than the game. Let the game come to you. And I think Frank, we've talked a lot about that. Hopefully that'll happen and things will fall in place. But right now it's all about the unit. We want the unit to function better. We're chasing improvement right now. And then if we can just get better than we were last week, I'll be happy with that.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.